So guys, and welcome back to a brand new Hijomeatman news video. Today we're going to be talking about something pretty interesting from an interview that John Hopkins had not too long ago, a couple of days ago or something like that. And he was basically talking about the fact that, how hard it is for an American rider to get into MotoGP and how there is less and less riders every year in the Premier class, the main classes of MotoGP, which is kind of interesting because obviously we know America have a good, a rich history, you could say, in MotoGP. Obviously, with Kenny Roberts, Freddie Spencer, Wayne Rainey, Kevin Swans, many other riders, and then obviously Nicky Hayden being the last world champion for America and the last rider actually in MotoGP, obviously moving over to that World Superbikes in 2016 and winning that championship in 2006. Against Valentino Rossi, in that little finale in Valencia in Spain. He obviously came out on top and took his one and only championship. And we've had other riders, Colin Edwards, Ben Spies, obviously John Hopkins himself. John Hopkins was basically just talking about, how hard it is for an American rider to get to MotoGP. Now, there's many reasons for this. The main reason itself is the fact that America don't have... I guess you could call it a trampoline, like a lower class, a support class for the Americans to riding, which kind of sets them into a good path into Moto3 or Moto2 or MotoGP. Now, what I mean with these support classes is basically like, the British Talent Cup, for example, the CEV World Championship here in Spain, the CIV, I think it is, in Italy. We also have the Asian Talent Cup, the Red Bull Rookies, and then we do have a new one which is coming out, which is starting this year, which is the Northern Talent Cup, which will be for the northern and the countries in the center of Europe. So we've got a couple different little kind of support class championships, supported by Dorna and that over in Europe, but and Asia, but over in the America side of things. There's literally nothing. There is absolutely nothing. Obviously, bikes in Moto America, bikes in America, like the motor racing and that, it's not quite as big. I guess they kind of lean more towards like IndyCar and stuff like that. I'm not really too sure, but they don't really follow bikes as much, especially in MotoGP. Especially now, obviously with the lack of American riders, but they don't have that lower class which can just trampoline them into Moto3, for example, like we see with many riders, Fabio Quartararo, for example. We'll just use him as an example for the video. And obviously when he won that CEV when he was like 15 years old, I think it was, and then obviously got put into the official kind of Moto3 World Championships. That's what America kind of need. They need a lower championship which can put their young talents into the Moto3 class, but unfortunately they don't have one. What they do have is Moto America. Quite I don't know, it didn't quite get the reception they was expecting. They really wanted to make Moto America big, get it on the TV, get it shown out to the people, but unfortunately it didn't quite have the success they were planning. But even so, it's not doing too bad over there in America. I personally don't watch any of it or know anything about it, but I know Elias is in it, and that is about it. But they have Moto America, but they do ideally need some sort of smaller championship, preferably supported by Dorna. That would help them out quite a bit. Like basically like a championship like the Red Bull Rookie one, Asian Talent Cup, British Talent Cup, CV, and all that stuff over there in America would definitely help them out. And another main reason for this, the lack of Americans in MotoGP, is that America don't really have too much involvement, I guess you could say, and even in the bike side of things, they don't have any bikes, that are in MotoGP or fabricate for MotoGP. They have Harley Davidson, and that doesn't really have any relation with MotoGP. It's not like Europe where we got like Italy where the Ducatis, or especially like Asia, Japan and that with Yamaha, Honda. They're all make bikes that kind of or do something that's related with MotoGP. BMW, for example, they do things in MotoGP. The cars, those bikes that go around, do like sighting laps or whatever they do. Stuff like that. And America, they don't really have any relation with competitive bike racing sports or anything really. to do with MotoGP, because they just kind of don't really show too much interest in the MotoGP, which is definitely disappointing. Obviously, it would be nice to see more Americans on the grid. It would be nice to see a bigger variety of riders on the grid. You know, it's kind of getting a bit dominated by Spanish riders in these last recent years. But obviously, Spain, they have a great system for young riders to get an opportunity, you know, and going into MotoGP and stuff like that. They have a great little path for the young riders. But America, unfortunately for them, they don't have such thing, a trampoline, I guess you could say, to get into Moto3 or Moto2 or MotoGP, which is kind of disappointing. Hopefully in the future, Dorna, they go ahead and put, you know, a supported championship over there, just to have, you know, the whole world kind of all like connected into one kind of thing. That would be quite cool. And obviously we would see the Americans get through into MotoGP and see what they're all about. But you guys, what do you think about it all? Leave a like and subscribe for more content. As always, leave your comments down in the bottom there. You know, a little debate. What do you think should happen? Do you think Dorna should put a support class over in America to get some flesh blood into the Moto3, Moto2 grid, or what do you think about it? Or leave it down in the comments. Make sure you share the video around, and yeah, hopefully enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you with some brand new videos very soon.